What's up, YouTube? What's up, YouTube? It's your boy back with another one. People, in today's video, we are going to discuss the imminent death of BEE and what it means for the rest of South Africa, or for South Africa as we know it, right? People, I've always just thought that BEE was the main vehicle to enrich impoverished Black South Africans. I've always thought BEE was the answer to all the wealth that was created for the white people by the apartheid government. So I thought BEE was the perfect vehicle to allow Black people to ascend to those levels of white people's wealth. And that has been my stance for the past, I don't know how long BEE has been in existence for, 30 years, right? 30 plus years or 25 years, something like that, if he was introduced, right? People, Helen Zeller is the one that put me on to the real hidden agenda and the misguided representation to the masses about what BEE really is and what it's not meant to be. I don't know if this makes sense at all, but listen to this. BEE was meant to enrich or to improve the lives of Black South Africans, right? Disadvantaged people. Cool. But then we all just take it at face value to say, okay, oh, it's just comrades giving their friends, and here and there, there's people that also get BEE deals and tenders and all that, right? Turns out that BEE was not for pro-poor people. It just turned out that it was for any Black person. So as long as you were Black and rich, you could still apply and get rewarded a tender just for being Black. Now, if that's not something to be, I don't know, angry at, then let us revisit this thing. Or let's look at it in a different scenario. Let's say you are, I don't know, working a job, trying to start a business, and you have this great idea that you can help the government by doing some sort of service business for the government, like in your own area, right? And let's just say, I don't know, Ramaphosa or Ramaphosa-san has a similar idea. You know what BE looks at? They don't look at, well, you, whatever your name is going to be, well, there's no history of you having achieved anything major in your life. Your address alone tells us that you are struggling financially, even if you're not struggling financially. Because it doesn't mean that everyone who lives in a high density area, high density, is struggling financially, right? But let's just go by area codes, right? So basically, if you live in Sea Point, you live in Clifton, you live in Constantia, you live in Bishop's Court, you live in Bantry Bay, Camps Bay, your address alone shows that you've got money, right? Okay. So BEE doesn't look at all that. You see, BEE just looks at face value. Well, you Black, you qualify. You Black, you qualify. Rich or not, you qualify. That is the essence of what Helen Zeller was bringing to the table when she proposed I don't know how to call it now, a PEE, I think, pro-poor people's economic, whatever BE stands for. Now she's just putting poor people into that whole narrative, right? Which now makes sense to me, because at first I was so against Helen Zeller and them and the DA running their mouths off about how unfair and racist BEE is. Now, when they use the term racist, I was so offended by them, because this thing is meant to improve the lives of Black people, not white people. Because white people had their chance 40 years, right? And those that took it, took it, and those that didn't, didn't. But then it also came to me that not all white people were for that government, and the government didn't cater to all the white people as well. See now, there's the catch. But here's the thing. With Zilla's proposal, right, which she says they drafted this thing way back in the 90s already because they could foresee the downsides of BEE because they knew it was going to come down to comrades giving comrades tenders, cronyism, nepotism, favoritism, and what we're currently seeing now, right? It's not pro poor, it's pro black and pro rich black. And yes, of course, there are people. I don't know how many people that you know that actually have government tenders. I only know one guy that had a carpet cleaning business in Pretoria. He was actually given a government tender. So kudos to him. I mean, there are other many stories elsewhere that I hear of stories of guys, 21-year-olds that were given tenders and, they were not, I don't know if they were politically connected or not. But the truth of the matter is BEE is not pro poor, it's pro black. And it doesn't distinguish whether you are rich black or poor black. All it just knows is that you are black. Guys, this now shines a whole new light on the way I see BEE. And I have to admit that Caitlin Zilla was right all along. That even though BEE did improve lives of some black people, or a lot of black people, should I say, those that did receive tenders, the very big money earners in this thing were actually guys that already had money, that had no business getting more business because they already were in business or are in business. I mean, guys, when will the poor ever get a break? I mean, I know it's not the government's job to make everybody rich, but it's the government's job to elevate people out of poverty, grinding poverty at that. So, shouldn't BEE be aimed at people who have never got contracts before, people who live in high poverty areas, people who have proven track records that they do not have criminal records, they do not have rich connections, people that do not have political connections, people that don't have. I mean, why can't the ordinary man on the street be the target, be the what can I say? Be the recipient of what Helen Zille is proposing now. What I'm simply saying is there's a lot of education that goes into teaching people about business, financial management, and all these things that come with the white economy, right? If we took all the poor people, we take all the poor people, right? All the poor people, and we educate them. We give them just enough business training, right? To start their own businesses and how they can formalize those businesses and then how they can apply for tenders and then they too can have a small piece of this huge pie. That's all I'm saying. Why can't BEE or like what Helen Zille is proposing now, PEE, pro poor economic, you know, why can't that be given to first time business owners or micro business owners, people that are employing like, I don't know, 10 people or less, 20 people or less, people that are just managing to, and then help those businesses, to grow by. But then again, PE and tenders is not a money making thing like most people think like, oh, well, I got a 2 million rent and they just pay you 2 million and you're going to disappear like what the big fish do. It's not that. That's why there's this whole bidding war, right? You got to factor in all your costs. And that's what they pay you according to your costing, right? People inflate their prices because they really want to make a maximum profit out of it. When they pay you that money, it's for you to do the work. It's not for you to put in your pocket. Like what we've seen at the Stina Dairy Farm, where they just put up a gate, a 2 million rand gate, and that was it. I mean, the people that had that contract already were rich business people. The Guptas. Look at the asbestos roofs in Bloemfontein, right? Again, the guy that got that tender, what blackhead spear, black something. A rich man that lives in a 50, was it a 80 million rand mansion? Are you kidding me? So that's my thing, guys. Why would we keep supporting BEE when clearly BEE does not make a distinction between people that are clearly, to this very day, disadvantaged and those that have already climbed up the ladder to 100 millions worth of tenders and still getting more tenders? What? What are we doing here? Are we promoting extreme wealth creation, or are we trying to promote cronyism, nepotism, favoritism? Are we trying to get into the good books of these wealthy people so that they can fund our parties in return? Is it a money funneling system that we give you tenders, you give us kickbacks? Is that what the BEE has become? Instead of trying to improve the lives of the impoverished people? That's my whole point here. So for the longest of times, I've been against Helen Ziller and her racist rant about BEE because she said BEE was racist, right? And she was freaking right. They were right. BEE was racist because it excluded poor white people. And it also really excluded poor black people. The reason I'm saying it excluded that is because, well, if you were black and you were rich and you had money and you were politically connected, you're going to get a nod over someone who's a first time applicant who has no political connections, not rich, just trying to get his first break, and a helping hand, a leg up, or a hand up from the government. Not a handout, a hand up. And he gets overlooked. Understand what I'm saying? So, what are my final thoughts on the imminent death of BEE? Well, it's been long overdue. The comrades have eaten. The comrades continue to eat. The comrades are refusing to let go of the big pie, and they want to hold it to themselves till the day they die. I mean, you can see this clearly with Gwede Mantashe's stomach size. I mean, Gwede Mantashe's stomach is now ballooned to, I don't know, it's taken a life of its own now. I mean, this is crazy, guys. This is crazy. To think that the very people who fought for the freedom of this country are the very people who are now destroying and eating from the very thing that they fought so hard for. Let you wonder, hey, I think we should all get into politics. I really think that the majority of us should get into politics, those that have the intentions to serve, those that have the intentions of morality, those that have discernment capabilities. I think those people that are here for honesty and truth should actually stand up and say, we are going to form a party that has morals, that has religion, that has belief systems, that has just all around traditional values that bring people together and that want to see everyone thrive. I know for a fact that it's hard to bring everyone out of poverty. I know. Sometimes you can bring someone out of poverty and that person doesn't even know what to do with that and they still just want to go back down. Some people are just happy to be in poverty. That's just their peaceful place. And it's okay. There are people that live in caves in India. They're just happy living. They even put them in a house. They don't know how to adjust to that. They're so used to that cave life. But as long as they have food, as long as they have, that's their success. You know, some people mistake living in a big house as successful. Some people mistake living in a shack as poverty. I mean, you wouldn't how can I put it? You wouldn't even know that someone is a millionaire just by the car they drive, just by the clothes they wear, just from the area they live. You wouldn't even know that. Some people are flashy like that. Some people are over the top, extravagant, but others are not. I mean, let's look at an example, right? I heard Meg G on Podcast and Chill, right? He said there's this guy. I think he was like, one of these big underworld figures, black dude. You know what I mean? Went into a restaurant and he had all these fly baddies with him, and you must see the entourage he had, the security, there's like formations, security to go in, check up everything, and then the baddies come in, then he comes in, and those, fancy, rich, entrepreneur, underworld figure type vibes, you know what I mean? Cool. Then he says he goes to Cape Town, he saw, I don't know, Crystal Visa, the owner of ShopRite and Pepco, the chairman of Pepco, sitting, having dinner with his wife. Was it lunch at the restaurant? Just the two of them. A billionaire! Just chilling with his wife, having breakfast or lunch or dinner, whatever it was. Just the two of them. Quietly, peacefully left. But here comes this man with, I don't know, hundreds of thousands or is it millions in the bank, and all of a sudden he's got this whole entourage, is making a whole spectacle of this scene that he's causing just for his entrance and exit. And guys, come on. There's better ways to use your money. There's better ways to show your wealth. There's better ways to use your influence. And we don't have to be flashy. We don't have to buy into this whole thing that we've got to be superstars and we've got to be noticed. We've got to be seen. We've got to be this way. I know we have one life to live, but that life can be better spent in other ways. We should learn from the billionaires. They are not loud. They are quiet. That's what you call soft power, quiet power. You don't have to be loud. Let me know what you think about this video. Was I on the money or did I totally miss it with this one? Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. We family, right? Holla.